And the stock markets got destroyed all week this week. And it all started with the new inflation numbers, the CPI, which came out at about 8.3%, which it's not actually, it's around 20%, but that's the official government number. But still, it was higher than a lot of people on Wall Street were hoping for. So everything started to crash. We did it, Joe. But here's the funny thing. It was what, like 2 weeks ago? I can't even, like time's flying, but like, it was just a few weeks ago they passed the Inflation Reduction Act, which has nothing to do with reducing inflation, and it's another massive spending and borrowing bill, which is going to massively increase inflation. So they came out with that, and then like 1 or 2 weeks later, like very quickly, they had like a one-day celebration, like at the White House or something, to celebrate how they passed the Inflation Reduction Act. And the day that they had it, you can't make this up. The day that they had this event where they're like, yeah, we reduced the inflation, we're doing such a great job. They had like singers and it was a big deal. So on the very day they had that big celebration about how they got rid of inflation, the inflation numbers were released, they're higher than normal, the stock market crashed. So Biden was like having this celebration as like the headlines for the day is that inflation is still out of control.
Exactly 4 weeks ago today, I signed the Inflation Reduction Act into law.
Inflation remains stuck, an 8.3% annualized inflation rate in the latest month.
This bill cut costs for families, help reduce inflation at the kitchen table.
Eggs still up nearly 40%, coffee up 17.6%, and milk up 17%. And the list goes on.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
And the stock market was crashing. I think the Dow was down 1,200 points while he was having this celebration.
So I thank the Republicans who stood up.
Okay, you're listening there to President Biden at the White House. He's celebrating the passage of the Inflation Reduction Act. He says that he's been fighting Big Pharma for decades. But there is this unfortunate split screen right now with the Dow taking a total beating, down more than 1,200 points. And so it feels like it's hard to be celebratory for some people in the crowd.
Yeah, it's the Inflation Reduction Act. Odds on a soft landing are looking good. Come on, man. Anyway, don't worry that everything's crashing, because a big part of the Inflation Reduction Act was to hire more people that are in the British Army to go around and accost and extort people in the US. They hired 87,000, many of them armed, IRS agents to go around, and that's how they're going to get rid of inflation. I wonder what the pronouns are for the IRS. Oh, here they are. Theirs, and theirs.